Hello guys, Gary Gamer coming to another brand new video of Matthew Science Oreo Creepypasta Stories. Oh wait, this isn't Creepypasta. What do you mean? Oh, so we had to react to something new this time. We had to react to something new. The top 10 most evil children in history. And well, I still don't know if this new microphone is as good as... I know that this isn't really as good as the old one, and it does not have as well as sound effects, so if you can't hear really good, then, well, you get what I'm saying. Be warned. But I believe that it works well enough, so if you have earbuds, you should definitely try that. And, well, let's go on ahead and continue the story. Wait, hold on. Interruptions. But, I'll continue when I get back. So, let's go on ahead and resume the... What was I going to say? The story. Let's resume the story. I am, well... Never mind, sorry. I don't know why I did that.
Serial poisoner in England. Born in Easton, northwest London on September 7th, 1947, Young's obsession with poison started long before he was ever caught. He tested a number of poisons on his family and friends, making his father, sister, and even a number of his classmates at school violently ill by putting it in their food and drinks. His first murder took place on April 26, 1962, on Easter Sunday, when his stepmother died after consuming some tea that Young had added some chemicals to. Young's aunt suspected him right away, and the teen was arrested and admitted to the Broadmoor Hospital. However, after serving less than 9 years in the institution, Graham was released in February of 1971, after which he went on a killing spree, poisoning 70 people and killing 2 of them. Young was again arrested on November 21st, 1971, and eventually died of a heart attack, still a prisoner, on August 1st, 1990. Number 2 is Paul Gingrich, Chase Williams, and Colt Lundy. When a child decides to go down a path of murdering someone, sometimes they need a little help. Indiana high school freshman, 15-year-old Colt Lundy, with the help of 2 of his friends, shot his 49-year-old stepfather, Philip Danner, 4 times in the chest, killing him on April 20th, 2010. Lundy's friends and co-conspirators were 12-year-old Chase Williams, who was on the lookout during the murder, and 12-year-old Paul Gingrich, who also shot Danner at Lundy's side. The 3 boys murdered Danner because they planned to run away, and they simply feared that he would catch them and stop them. At only 12 years old, Paul Gingrich was the youngest person to be sentenced as an adult and was given 25 years in jail. Lundy was given 30 years, and Williams, who stayed outside during the killing, was given 6 years in a juvenile correction facility. The first 2 boys are still in jail to this day, while the third was recently released. Number 3 is Edmund Kemper. At only 15 years old, Burbank, California youth Edmund Kemper was arrested after he shot his grandmother and then his grandfather with a .22 caliber rifle, killing them both on August 27, 1964. When asked why he committed the murders, he chillingly replied, "I just wanted to see what it felt like to kill."
You on the right side of the screen, you're evil.
His grandfather because he knew the old man would be angry over the death of his wife, and the boy wanted to avoid getting in trouble. Kemper was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic and was sent to the criminally insane unit at the hospital, where he served only 5 years. After convincing his psychiatrist that he was rehabilitated, Kemper was released on December 18th, 1969, his 21st birthday. However, instead of becoming a respectful, good member of society, he decided to viciously murder 6 women, dismembering them and keeping their heads for trophies, before then killing both his mother and his friend. After that event, he turned himself in, explaining
Evil.
his murder spree was the revenge against his abusive mother that was ultimately completed. Number 4 is
That's
Jesse
more
Harding.
evil than...
1800s, a 14-year-old named Jesse Harding.
If that wasn't Resident Evil, that'd be crazy.
Convicted of murder in the first degree in the state of Massachusetts history. Between late 1971 and early 1972, several several young boys were lured into secluded areas of Charleston and brutally beaten, often left with mangled faces and horrible permanent scars. Then, after moving to South Boston, Jesse continued carrying out these violent actions. But then, in March of 1974, Katie Curran became his first murder victim. Jesse kidnapped the 12-year-old girl and killed her, hiding her remains in an ash heap in his mother's basement. But it did not end there. After a 4-year-old's body was found mutilated, Jesse was arrested and Katie's remains were discovered. He was sentenced to life in prison and was nearly hanged before the governor gave him a stay. Jesse Pomeroy died at the age of 72, still an imprisoned man on September 29, 1932 of natural causes. Number 5 is Michael Hernandez. While some teenagers lose their temper and attack in a rage, others, like Michael Hernandez, wait patiently for their shot at revenge, making lists and planning their actions carefully. At just 14 years old, Hernandez wrote a list of people that he wanted to brutally murder and began his mission to complete it. On February 3rd, 2004, after luring a 14-year-old classmate named Jamie Go into the boys' washroom at their Miami, Florida middle school, Hernandez proceeded to stab him 42 times and left him to bleed out on the floor, while he simply went back to class with an attitude that suggested that nothing was wrong. Fortunately, the teen serial killer wannabe was caught before he could take out a second victim, but the list in his pocket and later his own confession revealed that he had no intention of stopping with Jamie. Disturbingly, the list even contained his own sister's name, who Michael was ready to murder in addition to his friends and other students. He was given a life sentence with 30 years tacked on for attempting to kill another student who luckily refused to enter the bathroom with him. Number 6 is David Braum. Arguments can escalate quickly and often lead to physical violence. But the thing is, when you're arguing with an evil psychopath, no matter what age, things can get even more out of hand much more quickly. Especially if the person that you're arguing with is anything like David Braum, who, at only 16 years old, single-handedly murdered most of his immediate family with an axe. Around 11:30 p.m. on the night of
That reminds me of Jack Baker.
1988, the teen had a bitter argument with his father in their Rochester, Minnesota home. An argument that left David so angry that he decided the next morning to take an axe to his father. Chillingly, according to David, his father kept getting back up, so it took an even larger number of blows to kill him. Immediately after, the teen struck his mother, then walked into his 11-year-old brother's room and killed him. When he came back, he found his 13-year-old sister standing over his injured mother and brutally beat them both to death. Strangely, just hours later, he asked a female friend to skip class with him and confessed all of his crimes to her, after which he turned himself in. Braum was arrested on February 19, 1988, and was sentenced to 53 years in prison. He will remain in prison until 2041. Number 7 is Kipland Kinkle. Born on August 30th, 1982, Kipland Kip Kinkle was a troubled boy who was always easily frustrated and anxious when he was in school. He did very well in his educational pursuits, repeating the first grade, and even was eventually diagnosed with a learning disability. By the 8th grade, Kip was hiding guns in his bedroom, shoplifting, and had even been caught ordering books on how to build bombs. Then, on May 20th, 1998, 15-year-old Kip was arrested and expelled from his school in Springfield, Oregon after a stolen gun was found in his locker. Upon returning home after the interrogation, the teenager pulled a gun from his collection and shot his father Bill in the head, soon after shooting his mother multiple times, killing her as well. But it gets even more disturbing, as the next morning, Kip brought his entire gun collection to his former school and opened fire in the cafeteria, killing 2 students and injuring 25 more. Luckily, fellow students managed to subdue him until the...
And little kids, if there are any little kids actually viewing this, some people tell me there are. And this is probably not the best kind of video for you to be watching by me. But there are other videos that you should check out. And secondly, if you are allowed to watch this, and if you're not scared by it and everything else, Just please treat yourself with respect. Treat the rules with respect, and well, just be careful out there because the world is like this. Like these stories right here are probably true, and there are people like this in this world. So watch out.
Authorities arrived and arrested him. When he was questioned, Kim claimed that he heard voices instructing him to kill and that he wanted to die. He is currently serving his 111-year sentence. Number 8 is Mary Belle. Born on May 26, 1957, to a 17-year-old prostitute in Newcastle, England, Mary
That
Belle
was creepy.
was a constant victim
That was
of abuse
creepy.
from both her mother and her mother's various clientele, an abuse that she inevitably forwarded onto others smaller than her. On May 25th, 1968, a day before her 11th birthday, Mary strangled Martin Brown, a 4-year-old boy in a run-down, neglected house in Scotswood, England. Afterward, both her and a friend named Norma Joyce broke into a local nursery and trashed it. However, unfortunately, the police declared this to be simply a prank and dismissed the evidence. Then, on July 31st, 1968, Mary, with Norma's help, strangled a 3-year-old boy named Brian Howe in a wasteland near the nursery that they vandalized, with Mary doing unspeakable things to his body. Mary was convicted of manslaughter on December 17, 1968, declared a psychopath, and was locked up for 12 years. However, she was released in 1980 at the age of...
No wonder why she looks like a teen. Or an adult, I mean.
To avoid the spotlight. This means that she could literally be anybody, anywhere, at any time. Perhaps even your neighbor. Number 9 is Amarjit Sada. In 2007, at only 8 years old, Amarjit Sada claimed the terrible title of the youngest serial killer in the world. Born in Begusari, Bihar, India in 1998, Sada's family was very poor and they lived in a small village. In 2006, the young boy murdered his 6-month-old sister, taking her from her crib at the local primary school where her mother
That's
had left
evil.
her so that she could run
Very
after it.
evil.
He brutally murdered her and buried her in a shallow grave before casually returning home as if nothing had happened. When he was confronted by people that suspected him of potentially murdering her, Sada freely and proudly confessed to the killing, even personally leading villagers to the grave. He was arrested on May 30th, 2007, but when questioned, simply smiled and asked for cookies. Unbelievably, under Indian law, he was released after serving only 3 years and is now freely on the street to do what he pleases again. And number 10 is John Venables and Robert...
Okay, that kid. They should make a re-correctional thing for like what age you could be arrested and how long you can be arrested, because I believe that murderers don't change, or at least not easily, or at least if they only attempted murder, I think there's a possibility that they could change, but I bet that most of them won't, or at least not easily. Either if it's drugs or just a bloodshed addiction or any kind of thing like that of some kind, that I bet they definitely won't do it easily. And you know what I mean. Okay. Ion Venables, Robert Thompson.
On February 12, 1993, 2-year-old James Bugler was drawn away from the protection of his mother while they were shopping in a New Strand shopping center in Bootle, Liverpool, England. The two who abducted him were 2 10-year-old boys named John Venables and Robert Thompson. They hurled stones and bricks at him and even dropped him several times. Believe it or not, those are the only actions that I can comfortably list off from the many relentlessly brutal actions that those 2 evil teens took while literally torturing their defenseless victim. The ordeal cost the infant his life, and he was so horribly beaten that the actual cause of death could not be determined. The two boys were charged with the murder on February 20th, 1993, and caused such a community uproar that their families had to relocate and change their identity. Both John and Robert unbelievably spent just 8 years behind bars before eventually being released, with their identities also changed. The only thing that remains of their history is their record as the youngest convicted murderers in modern English history. Who they are today is a complete mystery. They could even be someone that you know. So, those were the 10 most evil kids in history. I want to know what you think of these cases in the comments below.
I think they're crazy. I think they're crazy evil, and the people that are still out there like that, they have to be stopped. They have to be found.
I release new videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. If you want to watch more, you can press or click either of the two video thumbnails that you see on your screen right now.
Thank you, buddy. Okay, that last one. I mean, like, all the ones that said that they were released from jail. You know, I would, if I was the judge of that, or anything, and I believed that any of the criminals could change, I would only believe in the thieves. Like, a thief that hasn't harmed anybody or anything and all that crap, only I would believe in those guys. Because, like, a murderer that literally taken out, like, several people for the fun of it and all that crap, I wouldn't care what age they were. I would put them in jail for the rest of their lives. And if they were a thief, I probably wouldn't. Not as easily, because, like, you could change a lot better when you're a... Oh, crap. But you could change a whole lot more efficiently, and maybe everyone else would believe in you a lot more when you're a thief. But when you're a murderer, no one will want to be around you, because who in the world want to go around a murderer? Who? Unless if they are trying to stop him or her, who in the world would go around one of those? And you get what I mean. So that's going to be it for the video, you guys. And if you really enjoyed and you really want to see me make more of these kind of reaction vids, then please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Get chomping out. Goodbye.